It was only recently that I heard of battery reconditioning from my cousin Roland and all the advantages it carries to bring one's old car back to life. Roland has his own woodworking business, and to transport the timber and all his crafted designs he needed the aid of his 20-year-old truck. However, when its battery died, instead of investing a lot of money in a new one, he just brought the old one back to life. And he did it with the help of Tim Erickson's course called EZ Battery Reconditioning. He said that the guide was extremely helpful with easy-to-follow steps, and he recommended that I try it for myself as well. So, when I did put the course to the test on my age-old Cadillac, to my surprise, the results were quite astounding. I got my old car humming again, that too from the very comforts of my own garage. And today I would like to share my experiences with you. EZ Battery Reconditioning, a brief overview. When Roland first told me about all the benefits of Tom's course, I was a bit skeptical and thought that it was too good to be true. But before I dismissed it as an EZ battery reconditioning scam, I gave it a try myself. And honestly, I got everything that was advertised. The course had reconditioning techniques that were quite unique in their own way, and no other course represents them as Tom's does. It even hands out valuable tips for amateurs on how to use a multimeter to determine if the old battery that has died can be reconditioned or not. Additionally, something that EZ Battery Reconditioning does which its competitors don't provide is useful details on where to source for inexpensive old batteries to restore. I found this to be rather helpful for those who use solar panels at home or other alternate sources of energy. Tom's course starts with a list of all the materials one will need to start the battery restoring project. It then slowly moves on to explain the types of batteries that are available in today's market and how to distinguish the bad irreparable ones from the repairable. I found the learning curve to be very enjoyable and thorough. How does the EZ Battery Reconditioning work? The EZ Battery Reconditioning Guide is an easy-to-follow course that even allows the most technically handicapped person restore old batteries and make them useful again. The whole package comes as a step-by-step guide of 21 chapters, that teaches one everything she needs to know about batteries. For a more enjoyable and engaging experience, the guide even has convenient illustrations and pictures that made it significantly easier for me to understand the concepts. But what's interesting to note here, is that the guide doesn't only stop at teaching one on how to restore and recondition a battery. When I was going through the steps, it even showed me how I could start pooling in profits by starting a reconditioning business of my own. This can be quite useful for those who are planning to start their own automobile restoration business from the comforts of their garage. Another unique aspect of this guide is how it talks about every type of battery, even laptop batteries, and rechargeable ones, and how to maintain them in good health. The guide taught me a lot about the lifespan of each battery type and how their basic build and structure differ from one another. Why opt for the EZ Battery Reconditioning course? Here are a few advantages that make Tom's course a must-have: extremely environment-friendly. An individual at average discards around 8 batteries a year, and all the chemicals and lead that seep out of them cause irreparable harm to the environment. So rather than dumping a battery, recycling them is a much greener option that goes a long way in keeping the environment clean. Saves money. I spend around $100 to $500 a minimum when it comes to buying a new car battery. Hence reconditioning them significantly reduces my expenditures, and the cost-saving tips from Tom's guide reduce the cost of operation even further. And more importantly, not just for car batteries, I can recycle laptop and other rechargeable batteries as well. Tom's course is quite affordable. The EZ Battery Reconditioning course is available for less than $50, and if you consider the value and the savings that you can make out of it, then it's indeed quite a steal. But not just in savings, it can help you launch your own battery recycling business as well. Enjoyable and simple learning curve. The steps and guides are very easy to follow, and the graphic illustrations make for a very fun and enjoyable experience. Is the EZ Battery Reconditioning for everyone? Though an amazing guide product by all means, Tom's course fails to impress some of the customers when it comes to time management. I won't recommend this course for those who have a hectic schedule. The entire program requires a lot of time and dedication. Even though it makes the reconditioning process extremely easy, it still requires effort from the customer's part. Lack of video format. For those learners who prefer videos over reading, the EZ Battery Reconditioning can be somewhat disappointing. None of its guides or steps have a video format. Safety issues. As you may be working with batteries that contain hazardous materials like lead and acid, it's imperative that one always wears protective gear and work in a well-aired room. Safety concerns might just put off a lot of customers. Some EZ battery reconditioning scams to look out for. In today's ever-growing market and economy, capitalism has taken the front seat in every venture. So people, as a result, will say more or less anything to get others to visit their pages and purchase their products. The same goes for EZ battery reconditioning as well. When a product's popularity grows, many will start putting out fake reviews and fake discount offerings to act as a shady clickbait and make people visit their website. As more visits lead to more earnings, some will stop at nothing to spread scams. So, here are a few false schemes to look out for. Fake scam website. I have been a victim of fake scam alerts too many times now to know how this scheme works. But nowadays these scams themselves are pretty easy to identify, as they start off their reviews by calling the main product itself a fake. And not just the content, but the title itself can tip you off as well. It would either ask if the program is a scam or if the creator Tom Erickson is one who cheats people. If you Google the product, you will find that there are a lot of websites that support these type of titles and review contents, and in my opinion, it's best to stay away from them. But some scams can get very innovative indeed. They can go as far as using the element of fear to make any customer not only hesitate before buying the program but even instill a sense of fear in them against it. These scams would claim that either EZ battery reconditioning is terrible or they had an awful experience with it and was a complete waste of money. These headlines and content act as effective clickbaits to lure you into visiting their websites. The special bonus package. This scam is all about taking advantage of those people who don't have much knowledge about the product or program. The websites will offer bonus packages which will cost more than EZ battery reconditioning itself. And the main problem that lies behind these packages is that the ebooks and PDFs they provide are going to be more or less useless, and have nothing to do with battery reconditioning. To make matters worse, the books they send can be found online for free, and you would have wasted your money for nothing. However, the most dangerous aspect of this scam is when they ask you to email your proof of purchase to them. And by mistake, if you do subscribe to their newsletter or send them the purchase history, they will not only have your email address but your order details as well. These scammers can not only use this information to send you more spam in your mail but use your details for other purposes as well. Hence, it's imperative to stay away from sites like these as they can get you to spend more and even compromise your personal details. False reviews. Just like for all popular products, EZ battery reconditioning too has a lot of fake reviews popping up about it everywhere. And quite often these reviews turn out to be attractive clickbaits that take advantage of people who are unaware of the product to visit their website. But luckily these fake reviews are pretty easy to spot, and you can identify them too through two of their most common traits. Very poorly written. A majority of these fake reviews use spinning tools and software to generate automatic content, or even copy-paste previously written content which they then pass off as their own. Such reviews are very easy to spot because more often than not, they will be very hard to read and make absolutely zero grammatical sense. So if a review feels a bit sketchy to you, then now you know that it's most definitely a fake. Generic content. Apart from spinning narrative, a lot of these reviews employ highly overused content as well. These contents will often be very vague, and hardly tackle the real topic at hand. These reviews will be primarily written by those people who hardly know what's inside the product, or what it's even about to begin with. One of their more telling signs is their constant use of buttons like Buy Now and Download Here. The free download offer. If there is one thing that all the users can verify about the product, is that Tom Erickson's EZ battery reconditioning program is not free. So, if you ever come across sites that are stating that they can offer you the product for free, or at a heavily discounted price after you do a survey, then it's better to cross out that site immediately. An amazing feature of the EZ battery reconditioning program is that it has a 60-day money-back guarantee. So, if you do have any complaints about it, and are not satisfied with what you are learning, then you can always get your money back. Free download links often have a virus file attached to it. And as soon as you click it, your computer might get infected with malicious software that would reduce your system's longevity. Final thoughts. It's always easier to just replace your older battery with a new one, but the advantages regarding cost saving that reconditioning possess are indeed noteworthy. So, why not try it for yourself? Pro's affordable guide is straightforward to follow. Come with illustrations that make the learning curve very fun and engaging. Teaches one everything they need to know about batteries. Helps to minimize operation costs significantly. Cons: none of the lessons have a video format. Suitable only for those who have a lot of time on their hands. Check the description for discounted link to buy EZ Battery Reconditioning course.